Hey guys, it's Mike with Become the Night. Welcome back to another Song Suggestion Friday. I am trying a new format today. Normally on Song Suggestion Friday, I would listen to all these songs in advance, write down all of my thoughts, and then come back and sit and talk to you at a flat angle in the most exciting way possible. Today I want to try something a little different, actually giving you live feedback as I am listening to it. And I'm not sure how this is going to work out. For those of you wondering, hey, are you going to have clips of the songs in here? Maybe eventually. I was going to try and do that today, but I was running into some technical difficulties. Again, still a new computer, still figuring things out. So for now, I'm going to have to listen to them with earbuds. Also, in the future, if I will be adding certain clips to it, I'm not going to be adding them in post. You're going to be hearing it through my speakers, through my microphone, so no, it will not be good sound quality. Also, don't be surprised if Song Suggestion Friday gets taken down. When you have multiple copyrighted works coming from different people who would take the revenue different directions, they can't split the baby, so they just take the video down altogether. But Mike, it's fair use. No shit, it's fair use. They don't really care about that. So anyway, that's how we're gonna try it today. And yeah, let's see how it goes. Very interested to know your thoughts on this in the comments below. Song Suggestion Friday is the show where I take your guys' suggestions of songs you'd like my feedback on or just to listen to in general. I listen to it and I tell you what I think. There will be a live Song Suggestion Friday tomorrow on Saturday. I know it's weird saying that out loud, but that's the way it is. And I think I may try to make that a regular thing, like actually every Saturday doing a live stream. If you want to know all of the rules for Song Suggestion Friday, check out the link to the video below. If your suggestions get deleted or disappear, don't bitch to me that you didn't follow the rules. Also, the only way that this show keeps going is through your support on Subscribestar. If you want to up your chances of getting your suggestion picked on this show, or if you just really want to help me keep doing what I'm doing, please support me on Subscribestar. I will be deleting my Patreon at the end of this month, so if you're still supporting me on Patreon and you want to keep supporting me, please, I ask you strongly, move to Subscribestar. All right, I think that was way longer than necessary intro. Let's get into it. All right, first up we have Stormbending by Devin Townsend project. As with all other Devin Townsend stuff, I'm really digging the tone quite a bit. Super huge, really thick. Drum mix is nice and pounding. One thing I find about Devin Townsend stuff more often than not is that he has kind of like, I don't want to say compressed because I don't think it's that compressed, but compressed in the sense of everything is flat against the top of the threshold, and that was mostly guitars and bass. There's not a whole lot of rhythmic texture to it. It's all just kind of, like when I say that I mean like with the attack on the instrument. It all just kind of smacks the top, which is a cool sound. It also takes away from some of the dynamic for me, and that's one of the things that I'm just like, I don't know if I like that as much. Absolutely love the tone, and really do also love his chord colors and his voicings. I think I've actually heard this song before. I do really like his melody in this. It suits his voice very well. Great chord change there at about 117, and then goes into a different progression. Bleh. I love that. Behind his voice, there's like a chorus ah, a choir ah. I love that. All right, about 142 here. We go from that huge flat feeling. We still have that bigness of the chords. I'm pretty sure that's keyboard. It might be keyboard and guitar. No, it's just keyboard. The keyboard is doing a really cool arpeggiated thing, which I think texturally mixes things up really interestingly. And absolutely love the mode that he's in right now. Oh, yes! Yes, relative minor when it should be major. I love it. Okay, that was a great way to come back. At 230, he kind of comes back to the main riff and takes the melody, a new melody, to a tremolo guitar. It was awesome. Great tone. All right, going back to, I guess that's the chorus, second time hearing it. The part where he changes to an unexpected chord and kind of goes to a different chord progression, possibly a different key. And he's doing a balance between 1 and 6 that I love very much. And huge choir thing over top of it again, man. I love it. Absolutely dig that a lot. The choir really makes it feel a little bit more symphonic metal-y, if that makes any sense. Absolute mad lad. The outro is just kind of a bunch of weird reverse verb and delay effects going on. It's pretty cool. Don't know that it would be my choice personally, but I mean, hey, he's fucking Devin Townsend. He's insane in the best way possible. All in all, I feel pretty positively about it, but I don't know if I would lean the whole way towards a plus sign. It has a certain amount of dynamic in it, but because of how much spaciness, how much room he likes filling the thing with, and not only that, he likes having the room almost as present as the dry instruments themselves, like, it just really loses a certain amount of dynamic to me. It does give it a really cool ethereal quality, but I do also like a bit of grittiness and in-your-faceness, which I feel like a lot of his tracks miss. So it's an equal sign, but I would say definitely leaning towards a plus sign. Not sure. It might change in the future. All right, next up we have Martha Argerich, Argerich, I'm not sure. Fucking, the name will be down there. And she is playing Chopin Balade number 1 in G minor, opus 23. Okay, one really quick thing I'm noticing. I am listening to this through Google Play Music streaming. And man, I have a feeling this is probably an older recording. I can find out really quickly while I'm talking. MP3s that are then converted again to be streaming friendly. All right, it says it was released in 2010. I don't know, I'm a little skeptical of that, but they really do not fare well on these streaming platforms because they over compress everything to make it stream friendly. So any of the air, any of the really, really high-end stuff all sounds like I can hear pixels flying out of my speakers. It really sucks. But I'm gonna try not to judge on that. Chopin, the master of unexpected chromatic movement. I always feel like, and especially this is a great example of it. We're at about 45 seconds. I'd say give it like another 10 seconds back if you want to listen for yourself. Chopin has these really interesting melodies in the sense that it's not what you would expect. You would never pick it out, but in the context of what's happening musically, they just feel so intuitive while at the same time feeling unconventional. I absolutely love it. Sadly, I don't know as much about Chopin as I would like to. Just by listening to it, it sounds like he composes just by jamming, you know what I mean? Then if he does actually sit down with all of his pieces and actually write it out before he ever touches a piano, that would be insane. Also, he employs inversions in a lot of very interesting ways too. Ooh, damn. About 1:30, there's this really cool piano run. It's another thing too, I'm more familiar with Chopin for being very moody and less about being extravagant with technique. Oof. About oh, damn. All right, I'm pausing it here a second. So at about 150, we start to get this accelerando and we start to do a crescendo, or probably, I would imagine here we're either at forte, probably not mezzo forte, but the recording isn't great, so I can't really tell that well. And now at this end of this accelerando, we've gone into just a straight harmonic minor feel, kind of chopping away, going a little bit staccato on some of the notes as well. And just going away at like a minor 1, back to a major 5, again, harmonic minor. But yeah, it was really intense. I did not expect this out of Chopin. Oof. If there was a metal equivalent of this song, they just fucking slaughtered the entire audience. That was beautiful, that whole part right after. And then 2:30, we have finally settled right back down into, I would say, pianissimo. Definitely a decrescendo. And retardando, that's what it was, retardando, one of those things. Now we're back down in somber, sad, Steven Wilson was inspired by this man vibes. This is actually in major and it sounds very sad, very, very sad. I think that has a lot to do with the performance as well. Chopin's stuff, to really capture it, you needed to perform it a specific way. Oof. We're gonna rewind it there a second. Okay, about 4 minutes he starts, and then he starts bringing it up, doing a crescendo, which I want to say that's diminished. It's definitely a tritone, that's for sure. He's doing that with the dun da dun, like presuming that our tonic is la 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 la. So going in between 6 and 7 in the melody, implying that that was our major key, but then just like slamming on an unrelated diminished chord. Really fucking cool. Especially like it wasn't a diminished chord at first because it was like very piano in the dynamics. So he was still kind of hanging in this like, I think it was like a major 7 chord world down here on his right hand, and then up here he's doing octaves on the 6 and 7 in the melody. And then as we crescendo and as we do a slight accelerando, he starts being like, fuck that, we're going diminished, like it's getting demented again. Really cool shit. Really cool shit. Oh man, he takes all that crazy shit, which I believe that was probably either a full or half diminished 7, goes back to a 5, and then brings it back to the 1, and kind of gives it this almost like your heart is dancing out of your chest feeling. This is all starting at 4 minutes, everything I was just talking about. He's such a frickin' beast when it comes to voicing and phrasing. Such a beast. Oh my god. 450, we just went into crazy town arpeggios. Oh, that son of a bitch. It's changing and doing so many amazing things. I don't have the time to explain everything. So everything from 4 minutes onward I've been blown away by. Whew. Son of a piss. Yeah, 5 minutes onward is definitely a shred fest on the piano, and in the best way. People, okay, pausing it here. People who bitch about shredders on the guitar, listen to someone shred on the piano. It's the exact same way. I can understand if you don't like the tone. I can understand if it's just not your style. But people who shred on piano, it's not just about hearing every single individual note. It's about hearing all of them cascade and wash over you at once. It brings its own sonic vibe. Missing by the human error of missing the individual notes actually does give you a certain sense of like a wow, that's an interesting sound palette. So anyway, sorry, going on. Absolutely stunning. Like I'm not done with this song yet, and to be honest, I don't think I have to be, only because this is definitely a plus sign. This is absolutely a plus sign. That is going on the Shit I Like playlist. Yeah, Chopin's a fucking master. If you haven't listened to Chopin, you are missing out on one of the greatest joys in life. So the next song here is The Scarecrow by Avantasia. This is a really long song, so it better be fucking good. That's all I can say. Alright, so we have very tribal drums with dun 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 dun. The down on 1 and the up on 1. We have accents there. Definitely very Celtic inspired. Now we're bouncing between minor 1, major 6. Then going to a 7. Gee, this is just Iron Maiden with Celtic instruments. All right, here's our electric guitar. Then we went back down to a 4 that time. We're at about a minute in. And they're spending an awful lot of time trying to build this up. And I would say not as successfully as they would hope. And that might have something to do with the production. Could also be the fact that I'm listening to it through earbuds. I'm sure if I was live and I could get the full depth of the bass and also the guitar like ringing through my head, like literally ringing through my head, that's where it would reverberate. It would probably sound really fucking cool. And it's not just violin in there. I think there's also some sort of flute instrument in there as well. But yeah, so far I feel like they're taking a whole lot of time because they have this something to that effect that they're repeating over and over again as kind of a motif with the violin and the flute. And then all we're getting in the meantime are, again, those kind of tribal sounding drums in the beginning. On the down and up of 1. We now just got our standard drum kit doing a really standard drum beat with big chords on an electric guitar and then a bass basically following that guitar. So I'm just kind of like, okay, we're a minute in. I have 10 minutes to go. Let's get to the fucking point, please. All right, vocals came in. They're pleasant so far. I have a feeling he's holding way back. This is their softer area. Everything's dropped out except for the drums, the bass, and now we have some keyboards in here with a pad sound. All right, yep. Either second half of verse or pre-chorus, don't know yet. He's actually letting loose a little more. He's got a really good voice. I really like the hint of rasp on it. It brings it back a little bit from the 80s cheesiness. I think his vibrato is a little bit exaggerated, which makes it a little cheesy for me. But otherwise, I think he's really good. And I will say, genre-wise, fits in really well. I'm pretty sure this is the chorus here at about 2 minutes. And considering the genre and the singing type, this long-held quarter note or more than a quarter note melody, excellent. Really, really, really good. Super anthemic, fits right in. And then that with all the instruments together kind of lifting everything up, it kind of feels like your spirits are being brought out. Like, really well done. Really well done. All right, second verse, pretty much the same thing. Okay, we're back at the pre-chorus again. In the chorus again. I will say I am really looking forward to the chorus. The verses, rather, are pretty decent. I wouldn't say they're amazing. I think they do complement the chorus because it makes you anticipate it more, and it is very satisfying when we get there. This better be the most fucking epic bridge ever, because we're about 4 minutes in at the end of the second chorus. We're having our little musical interlude that happens after the chorus, which was our intro part. Again, that repeating motif on the violin and flute. I'm kind of like, all right, do we really need fucking 7 minutes of bridge? Because I still have 7 minutes left in this song. Dropped out, gone to a more concert version of percussion, and we're working with exclusively orchestral instruments right now. Some strings, some horns. I really do like the way that they compose the dynamics on everything, especially with the counterpoint here. All right, now we've dropped that out. Those are fading away here at 4:47. And we're sticking to basically holding those notes for a while. Choir just faded in, and have again like a somewhat tribal inspired percussion. Okay, I hate that sound. That was at 5:03. It's kind of like a synthy version of a harp that has like a ton of wet effects on it. And it's so 80s, so cheesy. Got the tubular bells there. Oh, okay. So 5:15, we actually have some electronic percussion coming in here. And I actually do kind of like what's going on, getting a shaker over here, having what sounds like a shaker, but is probably an electric hi-hat. Guitar solo is very on point. It's a very feel guitar solo, focusing more on the melody and on what's the word? Articulation. Can't say I like the way he ended the guitar solo, but it wasn't horrible. Technically it was sound, but it's like, what did it say to me? 6:18, we have our big instruments coming back in. Probably taking too long with this part. There we go. 6:38, now we're getting shreddy. They probably could have cut that part preceding this new solo in half and gotten the same effect. Okay, that first guitar solo was really cool. I'm gonna pause it here a second because we have a second guitar solo right next to it. The first guitar solo was really cool. I wouldn't say it was the greatest thing I've ever heard or the best. I definitely appreciate his technical prowess, and some of his phrasing was really great. Other parts of his phrasing, I was like, I don't know how much I like that. I probably would have changed a thing or two in it, but otherwise really cool. All right, second guitar solo is starting out so far with like a couple of more longer notes, again, more feel. Definitely can hear a little bit of Gilmour influence in there. The tapping legato shit at the end was really cool too. There are certain parts of this guy singing that actually remind me a little bit of AC/DC. Okay, so everything after the guitar solos up to about 9 minutes, I felt like took way the fuck too long. Way too long. Now we're kind of at like a double time feel on the guitars and the drums. And it's cool. I just feel like we took way the fuck too long to get here. You could have chopped at least 2 to 4 minutes off of this song easily. All right, yeah. Overall impression, I mean, it's a pretty cool song. It's way the fuck too long, man. Like for what's going on here, it's too much. Okay, it says bonus version. Maybe I'm listening to the overly long version that I wasn't supposed to listen to. I don't fucking know. But either way, yeah, it was just too much for what was delivered to me. Otherwise, I mean, I think there were some really great things here, as you heard me say already. So, yeah, that gets an equal sign. A minus sign if I'm forced to listen to it in its entirety again. Next is Lonely is the Night by Billy Squier. So, yeah, this is like insanely Jimmy Page tone and very much a Jimmy Page line. And that's not exactly Robert Plant, but that's heavily inspired by Robert Plant, very much so, especially with that harmony behind it. You know, Billy Squier should sue Greta Van Fleet for ripping off Led Zeppelin after he did. He can lay claim to it. Yeah, the drums are definitely a Bonham style drum beat and sound like they're mixed exactly like his. This is like just straight Led Zeppelin. I'll say the phrasing's pretty cool. The melody is pretty cool. There's really nothing here to really, okay, that was a straight rip from Good Times, Bad Times. And he's even saying like red lights, green lights, good times, bad times. He's going green lights, red lights, blah, 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 which is basically good times, bad times. You know I had my share. Yeah, it's like the exact same thing. It's almost kind of painful at this point, but not as painful as Greta Van Fleet, thankfully. Yeah, there's really nothing here exciting me. About almost a minute in, we're at the second verse. It's all just kind of rudimentary shit. And like, that's not to say that it's bad. It's just, for me, it's like, what's here to interest me? I could throw on a fucking Zepp album and it would mean more to me. I wasn't noticing this before, but in the chorus, you can barely hear slipped in there as some sort of synthesizer. This bridge is lame as fuck. It's really not good. It was a pretty lame guitar riff. One of the simplest drum beats I've heard in a long time. And like the most cliched, hackneyed impression of a Led Zeppelin melody. It all just felt really hacky there at that bridge. That was not good. Guitar solo is pretty cool. Again, it's so recycled. I can't get that much enjoyment out of this, man. I really can't. It'd be one thing if any of these guys had the feel and chemistry of Zeppelin, but they really don't. It kind of has that mask of like, no, I swear to God, we're Zeppelin. No, I swear to God. See, doesn't this face say Robert Plant? And then all you need to do is just lift it up slightly to realize that it's not even close. You can see the guy, like there's like holes in the mask everywhere. It's just not, yeah, it's just not. Just not. I'll give it an equal sign. It's inoffensive, but I mean, I would definitely never seek this song out again. All right, we're moving on to the next one, which is Skratch and Snyf by S.O.M.P. or S.O.M.P.
Strike that. Reverse it.
Synthy intro. With some weird filters on it. This is 80s as hell. Drum beats 4 to the floor. The riff is like so rudimentally 80s, and so is the guitar lead. It's like almost a mockery. I'm looking here at the description from their album Arcade of Dreams. If you haven't heard of them, then you're definitely not from Manitoba. Okay, cool. Singing is pretty good. Mix feels a little off. I'm not sure where. It could be the earbuds, but I feel like it might be a little bit guitar forward between the 3K and 4K range. The drums also feel like they're mixed really weird. Like there's a little bit too much room mic uncompressed going on. And like the dry kick really comes through as really dry contrasted against that room. Something feels off about it. The guitar lead has not impressed me so far. It's not bad, it's just not great. There's also something really weird about the way that the singer articulates some of his notes. Okay, that little going on with the guitar lead at about 2:15. That was pretty cool. Yeah, I'm afraid that whoever suggested this to me might actually be their band, and I'll feel really bad for talking so much smack on it. But I mean, I gotta be honest. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. So singer right here at 2:40-ish. Let me see here. Is it 2:38? Nope. Even before then. 2:35. Man, he's holding this high note, and you can tell he can't. You can really tell he can't. He's technically hitting the note, but it's not, he's not owning the note at all. He's letting the note own him, which I am also very guilty of that. One of the reasons why I do not want to be a singer. It just really shines through the flaws in the performance. So, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be a dick here. I'm really not, but it's not working for me, man. All right, 3:17, we're going to the guitar solo. We have double timed. So far, the guitar solo is a little bit of a mockery of neoclassical. Okay, now we're going more blues influenced. This is pretty cool. Okay, I'm pausing it there. There were some cool moments. There definitely were some cool moments, but I think most of the cool moments that happened were him kind of falling into it by accident. I can tell absolutely by the last phrase that ended that guitar solo, he's just kind of spitballing and seeing what works. I don't think he actually knows how to intuitively make a good melody. So, yeah, that's kind of depressing. I am gonna stop that there. All right, at this point, we are up to almost 47 minutes of recording. So I'm definitely gonna be stopping this here because I have no clue how the fuck long this is gonna be. I got through all the patron suggestions today. I might have to, if I'm gonna keep doing this format, I might have to ratchet back how many patron suggestions I take so I can at least take some from the comment section. I think this is way more fun. I had a lot more fun doing this way than I am doing it the other way. It just seems like such a fucking chore the other way, and I think I come off as more of a dick the other way. This, I think, feels like it was more fun. I got to dive into more theory this way and kind of experience it with you guys. I don't know, at least that's how I feel about it. I wish you could hear what I'm hearing, and that's why I tried to give you some time codes so you can go listen to them for yourself. But yeah, I think if we're gonna keep doing this format, I can only stick to 5 songs per episode, especially when, I mean, maybe I can fit some more in, but you fucking people always suggest the longest fucking songs, and that's why I always hesitate to take them. The only reason why I took Chopin and the Scarecrow is because they won the poll. So I might put a veto on the poll stuff if it's too fucking long. Like, hands down. If the song is over 8 minutes and it wins on the poll, I want to reserve the right to cancel that shit out. I'm sorry. Save that shit for the long song episodes. Okay, cool. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for your continued support on Subscribestar. If you haven't, go support me there. That's how I can continue to deliver you badass content. And you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Become the Night. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next video. Rock on!